Bob and Brad, the two most famous physical therapists on the internet.
Hello, Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Hi, I'm Chris the Pharmacist.
That's right. And I am exactly one half of the Bob and Brad PT channel. However, today Bob is not here, but we're absolutely honored to have Chris here. He's done some wonderful research, and we both have some extraordinary history of sore muscles. So the title today is How to Relieve Sore Muscles, including DOMS, D-O-M-S. That means delayed onset muscle soreness. That's when you work out on Saturday, but you don't feel the sore muscles until
Sunday or Monday.
Yeah, and oftentimes it skips a day and it's into Monday. It's delayed. And it's an interesting concept, but we're going to actually, Chris is going to go through this in detail. We're going to give you some helpful information on how you can avoid the sore muscles. So as you know, we do have a giveaway.
Yep, we do.
Go ahead, tell them, Chris.
It's SleepOvation, Brad.
It's a mattress,
One of
and
the
they
best
make
in the
an
business.
excellent mattress. Great for pain if you just want to sleep all night long. Because I have a hard time getting out of bed in the morning because I'm literally so comfortable with my spondylolisthesis. I can't even say it. Spondylolisthesis back pain. Great giveaway. Go to bobandbrad.com. Go to the giveaway section. You can get in it there, or go to Facebook, and it's pinned to the top of the page. Let's get on. Sore muscles, active Oh, I already given away one of the secrets. Let's go. Let's give it to Chris. This is his baby.
Well, like we said in the title, DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness, not fun. And no one is immune. It doesn't matter if you're the novice, the average guy that exercises on a consistent basis, or the elite of the elite athletes. We are all subject to becoming a victim of it at some point in our lives with workout programs.
Well, that's kind of strong, Chris. A victim?
Well, it's painful.
Yeah.
I mean, it hurts. I mean, at some point, I mean, if you're sore, you kind of feel like you've been victimized. I mean, you know you're going to pay the piper at some point or another. I'm going to actually pay for it tomorrow with what I did this morning.
Okay.
So, but it's one of those things where, is it bad? Is it good? I mean, that's been kind of a debated question. And when you consider that with athletes, you got trillions of dollars invested in these athletes all around the world between Olympic athletes and pro athletes and college athletes. But we don't really have any clear answers as to how do we solve the mystery of DOMS? And so it's something that it's, the true remedy is time.
Okay.
But there's aspects of it that we can help to try and minimize it and hopefully make it not quite so severe. But at the same time, we always want to, we kind of have a guideline. So what is it? Well, it's the pain that you get. It's not the pain that you get when you're working out. That's more fatigue of the muscle, maybe some muscle soreness that goes away after you've been exercising. So if you've been doing squats and your muscles are burning,
yep.
But as soon as you stop doing squats and you walk away, go drink some water, do some stretching, that's gone.
Right.
It's not that type of pain. This is the pain that shows up, actually 1 to 2 days later.
Sure.
Most often, like you said, it skips a day.
Yep.
So it's usually days, it's usually days 3, 4, and 5,
yep.
Usually the range for most people. Most of us, when you're well conditioned, about 72 hours is the window it seems to go away, but not everybody. It can go up to 5 days. If it goes beyond 5 days, or if you have more severe pain, we'll just kind of do a quick make sure you check with your doctor here kind of thing. So if you have pain that's extreme in nature, where you can barely walk upstairs, it is excruciating. If you are hydrating well and you have dark urine, this is a sign where you've got some serious muscle toxicity going on, and you do want to report that to your doctor.
Sure.
It could actually be very serious. So and actually some of those occur like in basic training, where a lot of newbie military members that may have not been training so hard, they go all gung-ho and they get
day
in,
after day after day.
They hammer into basic training, and they have very clear, the U.S. military, and I'm sure other militaries show quite examples of how, in fact, you can end up with DOMS and or something more serious.
For the average person, probably not good, unless you're doing some really, you got to give your body a break when you're sore, and that's what we're going to talk about.
That's what we're going to talk about. So, I mean, there's exercises that can be used to induce DOMS, and so a lot of researchers are gravitating towards that. But it's funny that we really have, and we'll talk about maybe some light at the end of the tunnel where I think they might be getting a better handle on this. So we'll talk about it towards the end. But So what do we know? We work out. It usually happens, there's basically an eccentric contraction is usually when it's the efficient contraction. So it's like if you're doing a curl, it's the exercise when you're going down, your muscles getting
Right.
longer. Or like if you're doing a squat, it's on the way down, your muscles are getting longer. Or running down a hill would all be, or even going down in a push-up. So
Sure.
those are all examples of eccentric contractions.
Right.
And then if you're going up, now that's the concentric contraction.
Sure.
That's the one that seems harder, but it's not. So that's where the damage gets done. And again, it's not happening at the time. It's just going to show up later. And so you get this pain. You're like, wow, I'm tender. I'm sore. You
Mhm.
lose range of motion.
Yep.
So what do you do? Well, I think one of the best things is just gentle exercise. We talked about cross training. We were kind of breaking this down the other day. So I mean, there's a variety of different things you can do, but something like walking,
Yep.
biking, swimming, gentle stretching. I think there's all things that'll be certainly physical things that you can do.
So if you're starting a running program, you haven't done anything, and you ran 2 miles, you felt pretty good. It's like, yeah, but then all of a sudden, all this muscle soreness, up and downstairs, all this pain. Now, what I do, I still get this because I'm
Yeah.
always pushing the limit a little bit,
Yep.
especially if I'm training for a race. I'll run one day, I'm sore the next day, I'll go for a 2 mile walk,
Yep.
and that's it.
Yeah, and I think that in a walk, I think is one of the simplest ways to help to relieve. It's an active recovery. Now, the relief is temporary. I mean, I'm sure you've remembered after you've taken that walk, you feel pretty good during
Yeah.
the walk and even shortly thereafter. But you go and sit down and maybe eat, a good protein meal and maybe get some fruits and veggies in you,
Sure.
which is actually nutrition is very important with this. We'll
Okay.
touch on that a little bit, and hydration. But all of a sudden you stand up from the table and you're like, ooh.
It's
I'm
not
tender
gone
again.
yet.
It's not gone yet. So it is temporary. It's time, but your body will go through it and your body adapts to that so that eventually when you repeat said workout, say day 5, because you want to give your body some time to heal,
Yep.
it's going to be repeatable and you're going to come back stronger. So
So the
that's
next time you run that same distance, you won't be near as sore.
there is sore. It's going to be a little easier.
Mhm.
And that's how it's how we become adaptable to training.
Sure.
And that's why, whether you're the novice, whether you're a professional, everything becomes adaptable, and that's where progress is made.
Right.
So from a development standpoint, other things that we've found, what else can you do after a workout? Immediate after, one of the studies suggests actually heat right on the muscles right away.
Ah,
Yeah, so they took a whole bunch of people that were actually in really good shape. They took elite hockey players and they had them doing squats to induce DOMS.
yep.
And basically, they found in one group that they would actually apply heat wraps. So something like thermocare, which is about 104 degrees. So it sounds pretty hot, but
A
you
hot
know,
pack.
hot pack.
Mhm.
So, but keep it in mind after you've just done intense exercise, the last thing we find comfortable is applying heat to ourselves. But if you can do heat and gentle stretching right after, they've found that it helps with the blood movement in and out of the muscle,
Yep.
and also that flexibility because you've created all these little micro tears. It just kind of helps to lengthen those muscles and help with the healing process. And you'll still have the DOMS pain the next day, but it won't be as intense, which allows you to get back into your workouts more aggressively,
Sure.
more soon. But at the same time, when we're experiencing DOMS pains, we want to make sure that we're not, if you just did the run, all of a sudden it's day 2 or 3 and you're feeling miserable, don't do something intense. Do
Mhm.
something gradual.
Listen to your body.
Yep, very, very important with that.
If you had a hot tub at your house, you could use that for heat.
Hot tub, yeah.
would be
You
a
just
little
don't
more
want to.
fun.
You want to. Yeah, exactly. That's way more fun. But for a variety of different reasons. But this is a family show. But that said, it will definitely help you. So it can't. And so people have also. Well, what about cold? Well, that was an interesting aspect of the study. They said, cold in a lot of cases.
So a cold pack.
Cold pack will relieve pain because
Yep.
it deadens the nerve ending, so
Sure.
it seems to work pretty well. But it didn't actually seem to improve or speed up the healing with
Ah,
DOMS, which I
okay.
thought was kind of interesting. But if it feels better, I say do it because I mean the reality of it is it's your comfort level, and if it
Right.
helps you feel a little bit better, and you've had excellent experience with ice, I mean it's one of your primary recommendations.
Yeah, but I know I'm slowly changing, but and it may vary too. But for this, for people who are exercising, you get soreness. I really encourage you, and you haven't experienced it before because you just are starting a program, get through it. It's going to get better.
Yes.
Use some of these. If you ran and you got sore from running, well, maybe ride your bike the next day
Yep.
very gently,
Cross-training.
very gently.
Yep.
And that's the hard part. If you got that
I'm gonna
that
get into this
attitude,
thing.
you got no pain, no gain. that's the hardest thing on DOMS. People have to learn to relax and just
Well, and
settle
that's one of the
down.
things too. A lot of trainers also emphasize is that it's not so much the no pain no gain anymore. I mean, you
Mhm.
can still get excellent muscle development without hurting yourself,
Sure.
and that's something to take home. I mean, and actually starting a program to minimize dome. I mean, you're going to want to warm up.
Yep.
You want to start gradually. We don't go to the intense stuff right away. We're not jumping off that cliff.
Right.
We're going to warm up to this thing so that we can gradually improve as we get in there.
Right.
A couple other things that seem to give some decent relief: foam roller.
Ah.
So I don't know if we've got one sitting
Oh,
around.
right
but-
behind me. Just keep talking.
Yeah,
I'll
all
get
right.
it.
So the foam roller is a really nice tool insofar as trying to help to move fluids. So you can kind of roll that out, and basically, Brad, you can probably show just a couple of techniques to maybe improve things.
Sure.
Let me move my mug.
Yeah, you're going to do this on the floor, not on a bed or a soft surface, but for a demonstration. If I had sore calves, I would roll back and forth like this, and then I would turn sideways to get that aspect of the muscle.
Yeah, because it's going to get that connective tissue and the other
Yeah.
muscle fibers,
And
it's
I could,
moving fluid.
yeah, I could go like this, but I'm probably not going to because remember, we don't want to get too aggressive. So I'm going to use this, puts all the weight on one. This divides the weight up between both. And I'm just going to go like this. And you're going to do this for 30 seconds, a minute, and just get that blood flow and that circulation improved so that those muscles can heal. And you can do this on your hamstrings. You can roll pretty much anything in your body.
Yep.
Some arms and traps and lats are difficult, but legs are good. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for my ball.
Oh, yes, a tennis ball.
Yeah.
Or this one?
Yeah, this guy. All right, these things are actually genius, and this one's pretty fancy because it lights up. I think we found it. Brad said you found it at the dollar store.
Costs $1.
But yeah, so if you were working your biceps, here's a very simple way you can just kind of get some decent circulation to the area, little pressure on it, kind of get that fluid moving. And so it works pretty well. And these little fingers actually kind of dig in a little bit.
Yes.
So it kind of works out pretty well. But a tennis ball works great as well. There's a
Yep.
little compression with that. So you can definitely, you can use your forearms if you're doing something. I mean, hamstring, quad. So these types of things, totally inexpensive. You can travel with it. So if you were
Right.
doing a race
Yes.
and right afterwards you want to try and get a little bit of massage into those muscles,
Yep.
these work phenomenally well.
Yeah, so if you're traveling, you're in a hotel, you've done your event, jump in the hot tub, get your little fancy ball out, your tennis ball. If you happen to have a massage gun, they work great too.
Yep.
But you're not going to get real aggressive with it.
Nope, you got to keep it on those low settings because if you get overly aggressive, and that's the same thing with like massage too, we have to be careful. Like something like a deep massage, I've actually shown that it can actually create domes. So you want to be real careful with that. So, but on a low setting,
Yep.
these are a little bit more expensive. So we favor the cheap on this show.
Right.
And I think these work great, but
Right.
those work excellent too.
Right.
And so if you can give yourself just about 3 or 4 minutes of treatment,
Yeah.
I think you will find it'll go a long way to helping those muscles heal a little bit quicker and minimizing that painful interval.
I do want to mention a really nice way to work these so they're not so aggressive is you put the round head on it, like this has, or like this one. And instead of taking it straight into the muscle, it's a lot more aggressive. You turn it sideways and you get a very gentle, and it spreads out the massage to a larger area. It's a really nice alternative because some people may already have these.
Sure.
I wouldn't buy one just for domes unless
No.
you want to. You can use them for all kinds
Well,
of.
you can use them for a variety of different recovery.
I mean, your whole family uses
Oh,
one
yeah.
of these.
Yeah, no, we use them all the time.
Yeah,
They're critical for recovery, in my opinion.
yeah. So, anyways, there we go with that. Was there another one, Chris?
Well, I guess we were talking about cold beer.
Well, I was just having fun when I was writing my notes down.
Yeah, I mean, I would tend to say
I
that
thought you
alcohol-
said that if you get a dark beer like Guinness, it
Yeah,
has some properties.
Actually,
in it.
Guinness had some properties, actually, and they actually did a medical study probably in the early 2000s that shows.
I knew there was some medical.
So
support.
they actually, the flavonoids in beer and actually coffees have the same type because
Ah,
it's dark.
Okay.
Basically help to improve. They're free radicals, so they help improve circulation. So believe it or not, a dark beer is probably something, or even a red wine, or even grape juice for people that don't want alcohol.
That's right.
Because alcohol can dehydrate. But it's one of those things that might help out a little bit.
Well,
But
we're from Wisconsin. It's just
so
part of the culture.
beer is part. It's in our DNA. But the other interesting thing, like I said earlier in the video, is that they're doing lots of research on these, and they're finding that there's other things that may be more. They're actually finding that DOMS might be more of something that might be due more to connective tissue and fascial tissue.
Yes.
So, and there's an interesting book that you alluded to when we were talking about this pre-production, and
Yep.
also with respect to a couple of new articles that came out in September of this year and October of this year in PubMed,
Yep.
actually are showing that maybe that connective tissue has much more of the nerve firing and maybe causing that discomfort.
I can't remember the title of that video, but I did it. I read the book. This woman, I believe she's from the UK, and she's dedicated her life basically to working with a fascia and pain relief through fascia. So, yeah, and now they're studying it more. So, yeah, that we could actually do another video on.
I think so, because I think there's going to be a pile of. I mean, it's kind of the tip of the iceberg, I think.
Sure.
And even though we don't fully understand it, so it's the takeaways. I think are really, if you're new to exercise, start gradual.
Yes.
Warm up before you get started, and then ramp up the intensity as time goes by, and your fitness level gains.
Sure.
So just don't all gung ho right away.
If you're 50 years old, you may take 2 weeks before you ramp up to a level, so you avoid that pain versus
Absolutely.
going into a class and giving her crazy, and then you can't walk the next day.
Slow and steady wins the race. I think so many times that I think it's like I think we all are naturally driven to try and do our best, and so we got to get in there and work it up with a great sweat. But if we ease our way into it.
Yep.
And cool down afterwards is very important.
Sure.
And then either using the massage, the foam roller, the guns, the hydration and eating well. So you're going to want to get some protein in your diet. You're going to want to have fruits and veggies to get those flavonoids to help with circulatory issues and natural anti-inflammatory aspects. I guess I didn't touch on the NSAIDs. So ibuprofen and naproxen are over-the-counter pain relievers that might give you a little bit of relief, but the jury's now out on that, saying that, you get some of that pain relief, but it doesn't solve DOMS. It's not going to make you heal quicker and might be counterproductive, because the inflammatory factors that happen from muscle breakdown are what's helping with muscle development. So if we take an anti-inflammatory, we could be slowing down our progress. So maybe some of the pain rubs, like a Bengay or a capsaicin containing thing, like maybe Tiger Balm, for instance,
Sure,
may be more better for topical analgesic relief, more so than the anti-inflammatories, coupled with the massage, the hydration, resting, active rest, meaning taking a walk rather than a run or swimming or biking. So those, I think, are some of the keys that are going to help us to minimize DOMS and hopefully keep us more successful, more effective, and getting out there and doing more.
Absolutely. Stay healthy, active, and pain-free, and keep the DOMS away from you. Thanks for helping us, Chris.
Thanks, guys.